So after fixing everything, do you think it's gonna start? Let's see. It has no compression at all. What's wrong with it? Let me show you. Hey y'all, thanks for tuning back into Chickanic. I hope everybody's having a great week. If you've been watching my videos, you know we are on a hardcore mission right now to get all these units knocked out that we brought from our old repair shop. I got a ton of riders over there. That's the Craftsman that y'all saw. I did the video on the engine and the deck and the brake issue. This is a parts mower. We got that John Deere mower going. We've got this Craftsman mower going. We got a couple push mowers going. And we probably have about 80 to 100 units we still want to get to before this spring starts. But since Punxsutawney's Phil came out this morning and said we're going to have an early spring, I don't think it's happening. Because at the same time that we're getting all these units done so we can sell them at the beginning of spring, we're still building our shop. Main focus this week is getting rid of trash. Pulling out briars and trees from areas of our yard that we want to take back. Now, although our 40 by 50 shop is built, I gotta still make a driveway. And when we built this shop, we built it pretty close to our existing shop and our fence with this huge carport in the way. It's got to be moved. So now that the weather's finally not in the single digits or monsoon raining, we have the time to pull all of that brush and trees out of this back corner here. Now this was the asphalt pad that sat outside our old little shop that we had. Now that's just like a 15 by 16 building we turned into our pool house. But we're gonna tear up all of this asphalt and get it all level to build our new pad. While doing that, we're moving this 24 foot by 18 foot carport all the way to the back corner. That way, once we've got our new driveway, we'll be able to come right up in here and have a huge pad right outside our shop. So let me show you what's going on in the shop today. The guys pulled in our Exmark Laser Z 60-inch cut. This is a commercial mower that we had given to us for free. And I know some things look scary, like this seat right here. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. But I mean, this thing has tons of potential. It actually runs very well. The deck's in very good shape. The customer who gave it to us, he had a brand new PTO put on it the year before we closed down, and he had brought it in because it would run for a little bit and die and wouldn't keep running. So we found out that it was not charging. And when we told him, you know, about what it was going to be to fix it, he really was sort of happy about it because he was ready to buy a new mower. And as you can see here, we had to remove the engine. We've got it hoisted up here. And guys, can you tell me what's wrong with this picture right here? Do you see anything? This is the flywheel. Okay. This is the stator. But what are these? These are the magnets that are supposed to be glued to the inside of the flywheel. Now, ideally, you'd want a new flywheel, but this thing's flywheel is cast iron, and that bad boy is like $500. So what we're gonna do, since we're working on it, and it's all our labor, we're taking it apart, we're cleaning it, we're gonna space the magnets back out and re-epoxy them. Doing this at my repair shop would never happen. I have to be able to stand behind whatever I do, and I would have had to replace the flywheel. So with a $500 flywheel and the labor of removing everything, removing the engine, tearing it apart, the hours of labor, looking at a $1,000 repair on this really old Exmark, the customer just didn't want to do it. Now, this doesn't mean it's a bad fix because it's probably going to last a very long time doing it this way, but I'm going to go ahead and sell this mower used. I'll let them know and disclose everything that we've done to it. That way, if it does ever happen to them in the future, they know what the problem is and can get it fixed. Because this is going to be a really good mower for somebody and I just don't need it. So let me show you what I've been working on. I got this Steel 025 running, got it completely serviced out, and she runs great. I also got this oldie but goodie running. I should have it apart because I gotta clean it up. But I got this McCullough Power Mac PM 605AV. It's a 20-inch chainsaw. This thing is 55 cc's and it is 20 pounds of chainsaw and it cuts really good. Let me fire her up. Now that thing is a beast. Now they made those chainsaws, I think from 1999 to 2003, so it's at least 20 years old, but she's still got a lot of life left in her. So I was gonna hold off building the loft, but it looks like I just can't. I've got way too many parts. We've started bringing some in from the pool house because it's packed up full of parts. I'm running out of shelf space. Everything's sitting on top of itself. So I've got to get the loft built, and it's gonna probably be 12 feet out by, I'm guessing, almost 30 feet wide. So we have 16-foot ceilings in here, so I think we'll have plenty of headspace up above, and I'm gonna get all these shelves upstairs, and that'll be the parts room. Now, what I do want to show you is this push mower right here. This Toro recycler has a Briggs and Stratton engine on it, and although it looks like this with this shroud, the engine, if you could see, overhead valve cover, check that muffler out, check out this air filter and gas tank, looks exactly the same as the engines they put on pretty much 90% of all the mowers you're gonna buy at the big box stores. Out to my mower pile out here so I can show you what I'm talking about. Like, see this one, even though it has a different shroud, rewind shroud on it, the gas tank's the same, the air filter assembly is the same, the overhead valve cover is the same. Pretty much these engines are all the same on all these different brand mowers. So this mower we got for free. A customer had hit something so hard that they bent their crankshaft and blew the threads out of the center of their crankshaft. So to replace a crankshaft in one of these mowers with the parts and labor just costs way too much. So they didn't want it, gave it to us, and we knew that it has such a good deck on it that we'd find an engine for it. So that's what we did. That is not the original engine that came on this mower, even though we put the shroud back on it like it did. It's actually, this is the engine that came off of it. You can see it's all apart, but it's the same engine. So after fixing everything, do you think it's gonna start? Let's see. It has no compression at all. What's wrong with it? Let me show you. Now, it took us a bit to figure this one out back years ago whenever we started seeing an influx of these mowers coming in with no compression. And when you go down the no compression hole, you either automatically are like, it ain't got compression, something's wrong internally, and you're not going to fix it, or you deep dive into the head and the valves and all that kind of stuff. But just saying you did that, saying you went, you checked the head, it's good, you check the valves, they're fine, you put it back together, it still has no compression, the piston looks good inside. What is going on? It's really a super simple fix and sort of a little crazy. Now, when you have one of these mowers and you're running them and you're running up underneath bushes and stuff, you hit stuff all over the place all the time and you just really don't pay attention to it. I mean, a lot of people they just act like their mowers are sort of indestructible. They run over rocks and stumps and stuff like that. So if we look here, we look at the overhead valve cover, you don't think much about it. It's just a cover, right? Well, looks like it's been hit quite a few times. It's a little concaved in there. So let me pop this one off for you real quick, and I'm going to show you the difference of the other engine and this engine. Now that we notice, it looks like it's been beat to all get out. And if you grab the one off the other engine, check it out. That's a huge difference. Now, you won't even think about it being beaten in, but I mean, this one's sort of extreme, but it doesn't matter. Even if it's beat in just a little bit, it hits the top of your rocker arms and your valves aren't opening and closing correctly, and it's gonna feel like you have no compression. So let's pop this one on, see what she does. Now that's the fix. Now, if you're in a bind and you need to get going and you notice that's your issue, you can go ahead and just beat it out. If you want to go ahead and buy a new valve cover with a gasket, the part number is an 84006581. I'll leave a link to one in the description box below if you want to find it there. So thanks again for tuning back into Chickanic. If you find yourself coming back over and over again, think about hitting that subscribe button. It helps out the algorithm to make my videos shown to more people to save them time, money, and frustration in the future. Now, we just got done fixing this bad boy to resell. If you have one just like this kind of engine, just like I showed you, it's like on all those different brands out there. I have made tons of videos about this engine. If you want to know my super secret trick on how to get your mower started after it's been sitting all winter long, check out the video right here.